You ask them a question, they just turn the tide and answer whatever they want to answer. And now that we're returning to...
That was so crazy because it's like, bro, that's your strongest, like that is the strongest issue that you have beyond.
From the most trusted journalists at Comedy Central, an actually live special report, The Daily Show presents Indecision 2024, the first presidential debate again. Now with 50% less, oh man. Here's your host, Jon Stewart.
Kaya, please. Sorry, I have the I have a gate guy working on my gate and my turrets outside of my compound. The turrets in my gated community that I definitely live in. I have too much, so we ran out of bullets. So he's just like, he has to put more ammo in the turrets. You know, regular rich people. Chad, is Hassan Abi memeing? What do you think, bro? Do you think I have actual turrets in my house? Yeah, dude, I have a moat too. Sometimes, dude, I can't tell if people are just like straight up. At this point, you got to be like 14 or something to think that.
Hi, everybody! Hello! Welcome to The Daily Show. My name is Jon Stewart. The second presidential debate has just wrapped up. We are live. Well, technically, I guess this is the second presidential debate. The first presidential debate of this matchup. I can't wait to see who the winner will take on next. I think we're coming to you live, ladies and gentlemen. The stakes couldn't be higher as we all try and figure out who will be the next president of Pawinevmiazgank. It's an exciting night for citizens of that esteemed nation as the rest of us watch with great interest from the neighboring country of no one gives a stand. By the way, if you have any friends in Pawinevmiazgank, can you see if they can do anything about congestion pricing? All right, forget it. But so far, it seems like this presidential race is going to be a tight one.
The election now a dead heat.
Separated by razor-thin margins.
Neck and neck.
Feels like a jump ball race right now.
For all intents and purposes, horseshoes and hand grenades, it's a coin flip.
The tightest race in a generation.
As tight as it can get.
As tight as a tick.
As tight as a too tight bathing suit and a too long car ride home from the beach.
That seems very tight. It's as tight as a teenage boy's pants during a Sydney Sweeney Film Festival. It's tighter than Sydney Sweeney's scheduling windows, given how busy she is with projects and in demand as a producer, to say nothing of the... Anyway, she's very talented. Of course, with an election this tight, it is important to build out a more diverse coalition. And recently, Donald Trump has picked up the unexpected support of former Democrats RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, and might even have picked up one of Jeffrey Epstein's most esteemed former lawyers.
I am no longer a Democrat. I am no longer a member of the Democratic Party. This was not my party. I just felt appalled when I watched the Democratic National Convention. I can't associate myself.
Oh, I'm muted. Hey, notice how Donald Trump is not running around being like, Jeffrey Epstein's best friend and lawyer endorsed me recently. I wonder why. Because that's what it sounds like when Kamala Harris runs around being like, Cheney endorsed me. It's awesome.
With the party itself.
No. Wait, don't go. Oh, you're no longer in the Democratic Party, Alan Dershowitz? Well, guess what? Democrats don't want you anyway, because the Democratic Party has standards, okay? We don't
Last week, former Vice President Cheney endorsed Vice President Harris.
Would you excuse me one second? I don't know what came over me. Anyway, going into the debate, one thing was clear. I'm sorry, you know what, Cheney, can you meet me over by camera one? Off. Seriously, off. You came this close to destroying the entire world. We were this close, closer than a teenage boy's pants. And no, I'm not going to have any fun with this. And by the way, who in God's name is that endorsement going to sway? Well, I like the Democrats' policy on child tax credits, but are they bombing enough Middle Eastern countries? There's still some buildings standing. Someone should really do something. I'm fine. It's fine. Seriously, though, that guy. Now, obviously, oh, please. What an erudite takedown. Obviously, each candidate was going to have their goals and strategies. For Kamala Harris, it was going to be quite a needle to thread.
She really wants to make sure that Americans know her backstory, walk away understanding her policy stances, make sure she needles Donald Trump, gets him to lash out, expose the flaws that she sees in him, stays calm, be ready for all attacks.
She's got like 2 minutes. Is there anything else?
There are some people who are worried that she might be over-preparing.
Really? after doing all that. You know, Trump was encouraged to take a simpler approach.
They expect some goading remarks from Harris. They have stressed to him over and over again, do not respond. If you're going to respond at all, to use facial expressions, not to actually go out there and say anything.
Kamala say everything. Some say nothing. But here's what you do, Mr. Former President. If Kamala says something that surprises you, you just go. And if Kamala says something that makes you angry, you just go. And if Kamala says something that makes you feel sexy time.
So someone that says Trump has stronger foreign policies and is better tasked to protect us, especially since he says that all these world leaders would not be doing the things they're doing if he was in office. How do you argue someone out of this opinion and persuade them to believe that it's not the greatest thing to say? I mean, that's a really difficult thing that you can parse through ultimately, because these wars did happen under the Joe Biden administration. I guess the only thing you can point to is that given the bipartisanship that comes with American foreign policy, it was a lot of Trump's actions that caused the instability that led to October 7. You know, both with his handling of Iran, both with his handling of the Abraham Accords and handling of Israel. Just, yeah, another good thing you can ask them is, or show them, is how easy it was for Kamala Harris to play to tug on his heartstrings and make him mad, right? Because it was super easy for Kamala Harris to just like rip him to shreds and play, like make him look like a fool. So if that's the case, if she could do that, then Vladimir Putin can do that tenfold, you know, especially because Kamala Harris is a woman and Vladimir Putin is a man. Because, you know, if they're already voting for Trump, I assume they're a little bit misogynistic. So you can weaponize that misogyny against them or against Donald Trump.
You go, oh yeah. So those were the goals. Both candidates have now entered the arena. Biden and Trump did not greet each other, and Kamala, oh wait, she went for the handshake, ladies and gentlemen. What an incredible display of the awkward tension that happens when your son is dating a biracial girl and you meet her parents for the first time. Konnichiwa. As per tradition in American politics, the first question is always asked by the most handsome person in a 10 to 15 mile radius.
When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
Ooh, first, yowza. Oh, yeah. Second, answer the question, Ms. Vice President.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy. My plan is to give a $50,000 tax deduction to startup small businesses. I intend on extending a tax cut for those families of $6,000.
Holy.
How differently do you think this would have gone? No, that was the first time and the last time the economy was addressed in that debate. Yeah, dude, $50,000 for podcasters is not exactly a great solution to how much people are struggling still. Oh my God. Child tax credit is good. Trump still won the economy poll, the economy CNN post debate poll. Yeah, of course he did. He doesn't have to say anything. In a lot of these circumstances, like all he has to do is look around and just point to things. Okay. I'm going to give such a nice credit when she passes that. 50K back for wealthy streamers chat. Yeah. If you despise me and you're a liberal because I constantly on Kamala Harris, know that she is doing this for me. And she's doing this for Michael from Pennsylvania, who is a swing state voter in Pennsylvania. It's in his name, and he's not going to vote for Kamala Harris. Okay? I don't even live in a swing state, and that's still a problem. Okay? But that's an even larger problem because Michael from Pennsylvania is not going to vote for her. And if she ends up winning, he's still going to take advantage of that. And so am I. Okay? Just remember that. Remember that, liberals. I'm not voting for Kamala as a Philly voter also. It's not looking too good. Hey, listen, there are 33,000 Philadelphia voters in here right now. Pennsylvania voters. Every single person in here is from Pennsylvania. And every single person is saying, Kamala Harris, we're not voting for you unless you change trajectory and stop the... Seems to me like maybe she should listen. Seems to me like maybe she should listen. Here's another reason why you know this is like not an anti-Semitic position. Because if it was, it would mean it would be a right-wing position. And therefore, the Democrats would be desperately trying to grab these voters. Okay? Because they only care about right-wing voters. Whether hypothetical, whether imaginary, there's always a right-wing guy out there that the Democrats need to win the votes of. Never to the left, mind you. God forbid you shut the up. If you're a leftist, we hate you. We despise you. The party doesn't want you. But also, if you don't vote for us, you're a scumbag. Oh, dreary, eerie. The mistake on the lake. Let's go. Yeah. But Trump isn't going to stop the war on either. I don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand. Okay, you don't. Let me explain to you. Trump is currently not the president. Okay, and Trump is not a president that you can change the mind on unless you have like a couple trillion fucking dollars, right? Mary Madelson certainly has 100 million that he gave to Donald Trump, and she got her assurances that Trump will even annex, right? Or not the West Bank. Now, having said that, why do you vote for the Democratic Party? You probably aren't voting for the $50,000 in tax credits. You think she will be better, Kamala Harris will be better than Donald Trump. Why would Kamala Harris be better than Donald Trump? Well, because she can listen. She responds. She listens to your demands. Okay, well, you make demands when you have the highest type of leverage right before a goddamn election that is ass cheeks close to one another. Okay, and it doesn't seem like she's listening right now. So I don't know. Maybe she should. What about abortion rights and the fact that women are dying because of lack of health care? Yeah, that's a great question. Great question. Here's the answer. Last time this happened, you could say, what about abortion rights and the fact that, you know, immigrants are being evaporated at the border under Trump's objectively cruel and unusual policies? Notice how you're only saying abortion now and not the other thing? It's because Kamala is now on board with the other thing. Maybe next election cycle, you'll be saying, well, you know, she has to go to the center on abortion. Actually, you won't say that. She's going to win, by the way, for the liberals who are upset and scared. She's going to win, most likely. That's my assessment still. It's, you know, that's what I think. And then she's not going to do shit about abortion because she can't, because she's not going to win. She's not going to win both the House of Representatives and the Senate. And then you're going to spend the entire time being like, well, what can she do? She doesn't have the Senate. Okay. She doesn't have the Senate. What can she do? Okay. What can she do? And it's like, okay, but then why'd you vote for her? And then we go back to the same problem. Then you're going to be like, okay, well, it's because you didn't vote for her hard enough. And then she'll use that again to run again in 2028. My God, you know, liberals. Yeah, because I've been dealing with the same exact talking points I've been dealing with this exact same talking points for the past 10 years. Okay. For the past 10 years, I've been dealing with these exact same talking points professionally since 2016. I know these talking points. Hello, Hassan from 2027. If you're watching this clip, are you bald yet? Did you beat Elden Ring DLC yet? Are you still gaming? I will not be balding by 2027 unless I stop taking Propecia for one reason or another. I don't know. You can't expect Kamala to go against the parliamentarian. Yep, there you go. Hassan, even if we have majority, how can you expect the president of the United States of America to whip the votes? There's always a spoiler. You don't understand, okay? You don't get it.
We're one question in, we're all millionaires. Oh my God. Donald, your response to the question, is the economy better now than it was 4 years ago?
We have millions of people pouring into our country from prisons and jails, from mental institutions and insane asylums. They're dangerous. They're at the highest level of, they are taking over the towns. They're taking over buildings. They're going in violently.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say, after surviving the PTSD of the last presidential debate, how unbelievably refreshing it is to go back to the same old, nobody's going to answer any questions. This is unbelievable. We're back. America is back. Yeah. You ask them a question, they just turn the tide and answer whatever they want to answer. And now that we're returning to...
That was so crazy because it's like, bro, that's your strongest, like that is the strongest issue that you have beyond immigration. What is your current look on the outcome of the election? Is it still the same, or do you think something has changed in the debate, even if slightly so? No, nothing like fundamentally. Nothing fundamentally changed because Kamala Harris didn't fundamentally change any aspect of her policies or the way she communicates certain things. She just presented a really good case for how she is not Donald Trump, and she is a normal Democrat. Your ass is going to get deported under Donald Trump. I don't think this is something that I don't understand that liberals say. Like, Yeah, okay, I'll go somewhere else then. I'm still going to serve you 3-minute ad breaks, though, no matter where I go. All right? I might be in New Zealand. I might be in China. Okay? Probably not Turkey. But I'll still be serving 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. You still be like, oh, man, this guy, rich socialist, by the way. Okay? It's in Agenda 47. Yeah, I know, dude. What are you talking about? I know. No mention of minimum wage or Medicare for all means we're going to get major pump in our number. We're not going to get a major pump in our numbers. So far, they're trying to skate by as close as they can, relying on abortion only, and even if they're not making much in the way of promises for it. Yeah, I mean, there's not really too much you can say. She's going to say, going to codify Roe v. Wade. Why not Turkey? Come on, dog. I think you know why not Turkey. You won't be broadcasting on Twitch from China, bro. You're absolutely wrong, dude. I would be the white monkey of the Chinese Communist Party. They would let me do so much propaganda. They probably give me enough money so I could finally do the RT version for China. Okay? Me and Ben Norton, dude. Me and Ben Norton, baby. Out there doing the damn thing, okay? That's the method. Biggest mistake for me was just not learning Mandarin, you know? Oh, Hassan forgets that certain chatters don't understand sarcasm and jokes. It's fine. I've given up.
To the cliches, the standards of American political theater. I think it's only fair if someone would do the honors of the first baseless ad hominem.
She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look at what she's done to our country...
Oh? She's about to be like, let's just do this. I'm gonna... Boom, boom. She's about to... A Marxist, she's about to open up a can of ass capital on Donald Trump. Lindsay Davis, you better change the subject before the fingers on Kamala's hand unite.
Would you go to Israel? Good one. Yeah, I'm trying to get assassinated, dude. That's a crazy thing to ask right now of all times, too. Like,
I want to turn to the issue of abortion.
Oh, boy. I'm not superstitious, but this is where the wheels fell off for Biden. He was asked about abortion, and he...
Remember how many, like, Israeli liberal Zionists I debated on that issue alone? Oh, just come to Israel, bro. Then you'll see. This is not a threat. Yeah. No, I you know, probably not the best idea for a, you know, pro-Palestinian Turkish American to go to Israel, don't you think?
He somehow spun it into, why are immigrants raping people? And he ended with a classic phrase we'll never forget. And that's when we finally beat Medicare. They're feeling it too, ladies and gentlemen. As before, President Trump, you have the first crack at answering why you Roe v. Wade.
We've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states. And the states are voting.
This is one of the craziest ways that, like, it honestly, what about Armenia? No, Armenia would welcome him with open arms. Stuff you're talking about. I don't think there's any, I have no beef with Armenia. If anything, they'd be mad because they probably also think I'm like pro-Russia or something, but that's it. So the thing I want to say is it's been so long. It's been so long that like Donald Trump hasn't been this prominent in front of our eyes that I just straight up forgot how much he lies, dude. Like I remember him lying all the time, but never to this degree. You know what I mean? And I'm reminded of it. Like, no, he was like this. He was always like this. But some of the shit he lies about are so stupid. Like this argument, like who is this for, dog? 75% of the country obviously considered Roe v. Wade to remain the law of the land. That's why the Supreme Court appointees that you put into the Supreme Court literally lied as well and said it's a super precedent and we will not overturn it. Like every single person straight up lied about this. Liberals did the same dumb back then too, by the way. Oh my God, do you remember liberals writing articles about like how Brett Kavanaugh is a great high school basketball coach for the girls? And they wrote about how Amy Coney Barrett was actually a phenomenon, a feminist icon. Oh my Lord, dude. God damn, I hate liberals so much. Well, I guess they hated Brett Kavanaugh more than Amy Kobe Bryant, but ay, ay, ay.
Voting. And I did something that nobody thought was possible.
Jon Stewart from the I Was Watching This Live Times Picayune. What you just said, yeah, that's actually insanely false. The majority of people wanted it. You know what? Kamala Harris, can you address this with a bit more eloquence?
I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage.
I literally look like this is me in 2028. I swear to God. This is me in 2028, okay? This is some real Air America hours right here, okay? Straight up. Nah, I hope I look like Sam Cedar instead of this. This is me 20 years from now, okay? Still doing an internet show. Still yelling at libtards.
Marriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that.
Holy, she crashed that. This is like what? This is like one of those Groundhog Day movies where you get to go back and fix the bad way that something happened earlier to the good way. And then you learn Italian and the piano, and then you get sad and then despondent, and then you learn how to love yourself. Anyway, Trump will now finally have to answer to his abortion policy.
You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe.
You don't have an answer.
Like, that, you can't flex that, brother. Like, that comes with the recognition that was actually a good thing. And then the Supreme Court that you made 6-3 supermajority Republican nuked it out of orbit. Like, how are you this person? How are you this dense? You know? It's like, oh yeah, remember the good things that you tried to do for the American population, and then like my Supreme Court ruined it. And by the way, anytime he says 6 brilliant brave Supreme Court justices, bravely overturned Roe v. Wade, I am reminded that Trump has lost this step. He's lost this game. He no longer balls. Okay. He's got no juice, because he should know better than anyone else that the United States Supreme Court is universally despised right now. It has its lowest approval rating historically. So for you to tie yourself to that while running away from JD Vance, like, what the fuck are you doing? The Supreme Court is basically perceived as JD Vance, okay, from the eyes of the Americans, partially because of the things that they implemented that you now have to defend. It's very odd that you are taking ownership over that.
Student loan smoke bomb. But we're settling into a rhythm here. Nice back and forth. I got to give it to Trump. He's sticking to his guns, and he's not letting Kamala Harris get under his skin. I actually think she's not going to be able to needle him.
I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
Oh, he's just going to start taking off his earrings and be like, that's it, let's go. Folks, the eagle has landed. She has attacked what is Donald Trump's most cherished family member, his rally crowds. Donald.
He's thinking about how it's true, and it makes him sad. I don't think it made him sad. I think it made him angry. He did think about how it's true, though, for sure. I think that was the pivotal point on the debate, where from that point on, he was like, oh.
Remember your training. The question is about why the bipartisan immigration bill. You don't need to think about the other.
First, let me respond as to the rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies.
Son of a bitch!
People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
What just happened? Because these unbelievable rallies, people don't leave them. They're eating dogs! In Springfield, the immigrants are eating people's dogs! Which reminds me, if I may, for just a quick moment. A quick reminder to all the pet owners out there. Always remember to leash your dogs. It's an important way to keep your dogs from fighting other dogs or being hit by a car or being eaten by your immigrant neighbors. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, off Cheney. I'm sorry. You were saying?
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us.
Like, well, everyone's having fun with the eating the dogs, eating the cat shit, but like, dude, I think it's sure, it's funny, but like, I think there's something very scary underneath this, okay? And it is the fact that a story so unimaginably could gain prominence and legitimacy and be seen as the God's honest truth in such a short period of time by tens of millions of Americans. I think people don't get it. They don't understand. There are real, foreseeable, very negative consequences. Yeah. I said, very cool to every time the right on this website choose to make up about marginalized people, you're guaranteed to receive bomb threats. This happened with children's hospitals. And this is happening again and schools, because they made shit up about trans people. Now it's happening to Springfield over Haitians. It's really up.
There have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
But the people are on
taking
television
it from the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that.
Having spent some time in Springfield myself, I believe I know what's happening here. I believe Trump himself may be becoming one of Springfield's most famous residents. And I believe we have some footage.
It's rotten being old. No one listens to you.
Hey! Someone ate my dog! And finally, no debate with the former president would be complete without addressing the former president's closing number of the Trump show's first term.
Mr. President, on January 6th, you told your supporters to march to the Capitol. You said you would be right there with them. Is there anything you regret about what you did on that day?
It wasn't done by me. It was done by others. It would have never happened if Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington did their jobs. I wasn't responsible for security. Nancy Pelosi was responsible. She didn't do her job. I had nothing to do with that other than they asked me to make a speech. I showed up for a speech.
You spent 2 months riling up your base that our country had literally been stolen from them through fraudulent means that you could never even get a whiff of in a court of law, and let yourself just abuse them. You pressed on. You abused their trust. You showed up for a speech. You've tweeted, "Join me on January 6th. It will be wild." But suddenly now, I was just a hired magician, did it?
That's another very funny lie that Trump tells all the time. God, I love his deflections. Like, it would be really funny if it wasn't like also kind of terrifying that a lot of people believe this. But like with abortion, he just says, "Oh, all the legal scholars wanted me to overturn Roe v. Wade. Every American wanted me to do that, actually." It's like, no, that's not true. And you know that that's not true. And then with like January 6th, he says Nancy Pelosi did January 6th. But also all of the people that were arrested during January 6th, which Nancy Pelosi did, need to be released immediately because they're political prisoners. And also Antifa did January 6th, except all of the people that were arrested were not Antifa. They were patriots and should be released. Like, not a single part of this makes sense. It's like a child lying. Like, you have a child's brain, okay? Holy. And the worst part about it is, even though it doesn't make any dang sense, hella people believe it. They're like, nah, that's actually... No, he's right. Nancy Pelosi did do January 6th. And also, those guys are political prisoners, even though they were following Nancy Pelosi's orders.
Bar mitzvah, I didn't do anything. I showed up with a hat and a rabbit, and then the whole party went out of control. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if this debate's going to change anything. I really don't. People are awfully set in the manner that they view these proceedings. What I think is a home run answer for one candidate, someone else views as a dodge or a lie or any of those other things. In some ways, it doesn't matter what they say anymore. But one thing will always be true, and it is the quality of the former president I respect the least. Whenever he is cornered and forced to face even the smallest of consequences for his own mendacity and scheming, he reverts to the greatest refuge of scoundrels. As Shaggy would say, "It wasn't me. I did nothing wrong. I just showed up. They're the ones who went crazy." This man who constantly professes to be your champion.
Yeah, I mean, they won't hear you, dude. They won't hear you, okay? I mean, he's right, but they won't hear you. Also, you know who's on the Trump train, dude? And this is why I'm definitely voting for Joe Biden? Joseph Robinette Brandon. That's right, folks. In the interest of experiencing true bipartisanship, Joseph Robinette Brandon, as a joke, as a goof, as a gaffe, but I will take it very seriously, put on a MAGA hat.
Presidential hat. Presidential seal on it.
You want to autograph it?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You remember your name?
I don't remember my name. I'm slow.
Stuart Park. Stuart Old Park.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm an old guy.
And you're an old Park, right?
I know you would know about that.
What?
About being old.
Oh, I know.
All right.
I'm a young timer.
God, he's so... Okay, this is... Man, he's good. This is why I used to say he's a good retail politician, okay? Because this got Riz, bro. That is Riz, okay? He's good. When he's got it, okay? That's cute. Like, straight up. I mean, he's a genocider, a piece of... But in terms of, like, retail politics, he's doing it. That's why I'm voting for him. That's why I'm voting for him. That's why I'm writing his name, okay?
You know, he reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There was always one in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Damn, we just called him out in the entire room. What the? He reminds me of the guys I grew up with. There's always one in the neighborhood. That's crazy.
There you go, man. I need that hat.
You want my autograph?
Hell no.
You know my name. Come on.
I ain't going that far.
Do a selfie. There you go.
Dude, this is why I'm voting for him, because I believe that the only way that you can be bipartisan as a Democrat is if you are literally a Republican, okay? And that's why I'm voting for Joseph Robinette Brandon. I heard your messages, all the liberals in the chat, they keep telling me about harm reduction, lesser evil voting. Like, in order for the Democrats to win, they have to become Republicans. The closer you are to being a Republican, which is literally just saying, like, I'm riding with Trump, okay? It's the most Republican you can get. I'm tired of seeing Hogs. I'm tired of seeing Hogs say that Biden did this because he's mad at Kamala for overthrowing him. Yeah.
Hey, I'm proud of you now.
Remember, no eating dogs and cats.
Hey, they're good.
Thank you.
They're good.
I genuinely don't understand why he did this, because he's just trying to be cute. He's just having a fun time. He should have never put the hat on, though, because it's a power play to give a Trump supporter the presidential hat. But, like, putting on the Trump hat is so stupid, okay? But also at the same time, it's not stupid for him because he's a Democrat. And Democrats want to Republicans. They want to suck Republicans. They want to be Republicans. Remember that. They love Republicans. They want them voting for the Democratic Party. They want to advance Republican policies. Okay? It's a swastika? No, it's not, dude. Shut up. And even if it is, like, you know, you can make the same argument about the Democratic Party too. Hey, hell yeah, brother. Maybe he's a big Hank Pecker fan. Yeah, brother. Hell yeah. He's got my vote. He's got my vote. Let me tell you, riding in Biden, he's got good smarts because he's pro-Trump.
I hope you like it.
How'd you get another hat there, though? What do you mean?